Right, let's start recording. Okay, I'm guessing we'll see. We'll see if this works. Hi everyone. So my name is Ben. If you've not been to the channel before, welcome. If you are back again to enjoy, the world of gaming, then welcome back. So this is part of my kind of new world into streaming and playing games while trying to record it for the entertainment of others, which is, a bizarre world, but kind of intriguing. So today, this has been part of a longer term thing, which is with the new webcam and kind of setup, and you can see we've got some things on the wall now. So today, as you can see, we are going to jump into the world of Gran Turismo Sport. So why Gran Turismo Sport? What is this video? Well, this video is a first impressions of someone who's played a lot of Formula One, and especially on the PlayStation 4. And you can see here, I love sports. So I've got a bit of FIFA, got the Formula One games, also got some games like Project Cars and Drive Club, which I definitely got to make some appearances later, even maybe today if this actually records. But yeah, why Gran Turismo? So I've been a big fan of Forza. I feel like Forza has kind of taken over Gran Turismo, especially, I would say, over the last 3 or 4 years. I think Forza has absolutely nailed it. So, Gran Turismo Sport has got a lot to live up with. Now, I have picked this up for, I think, £15 on the Sony network, and it's a Spec 2 version, which basically gives you some like 10 cars and 2.5 million credits, which I've already spent 1 million of them on one car. So I have played probably for a few hours. I'm not dreadful, which is good. The last Gran Turismo game I played was like Gran Turismo 4. So here you go, milestone achieved. I'm apparently level 15, which probably means I've put more than a few hours. No, it genuinely is like 3 hours, maybe not even that. And I just wanted to, see if I was any good, because if I was no good, then I definitely wouldn't actually make a video on it. So what I thought we could do is just run through, this video is really for somebody who's not seen Gran Turismo before, who's maybe going, do I not? And I'd like to kind of say who this game is for and who it's not. So one of my friends at work said, this game's a bit crap. And to be fair, for said person, this game is probably a little bit crap. I think his kind of gaming style probably suits something like Need for Speed a bit more, so totally understood. Or even Forza, because you can kick the cars out a lot more. I would say this is, if you enjoy maybe Forza 7 or Forza 6, and it's a little bit more sim racing, like this kind of makes me laugh. It's like, you can tell that's just a JPEG with a road on it, and they're putting the GTI through it. Like, little things like that on the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3 were kind of, okay, I can accept that, but hell damn, this is a PS4 Pro. Like, come on, GCA. So anyway, so what do you get in this? So you've got your arcade, so you can jump into single racing, time trials. It's a racing sim. If you couldn't do that, what are we doing here? Something I do like is you have got 2-player split screen. So if you do have a buddy who's maybe sat here, you can jump into that straight away, which is, I think, pretty awesome. So congratulations, Gran Turismo, for recognizing that people have friends, which I think is quite nice. You can set custom races, drift trials, which again, now you do also, if you have the PS4 VR, and that is something you can also jump into this game with. Probably get motion sickness. You've also then got the campaign, so you've got the good old Gran Turismo driving school, so you can go through that. Now, not to show off, but I'm quite good at racing games. I would say I'm better than average. So the driving school is taking the mick. That is literally like, you've never played on a racing game before, you need to know how to accelerate and corner. But for anyone who's a bit advanced, there's not much point. Then you've got a circuit experience. Something I do really want to jump into is the Lewis Hamilton time trial challenge, but it is a paid for thing, so I wanted to see if I was any good first before buying that. So maybe some videos in the future. So we'll see. Loads of actual racing sim YouTubers have done this, so if you don't want to wait for me, go and check them out. You've also then got the online side of things, the sport, which I have to say, I had to do this yesterday, and it was something I thought, I had a previous rant about the Formula 1 game, and this is actually think something that they should bring in. You have to go through racing etiquette. It's like a 5-minute video about how to not be a dick on racing games. Do you know what? Gran Turismo, congratulations. I actually thought it was quite simplistic, but it actually got its point across, because there's clearly hardened veterans on racing games who just go out there to ruin people's fun. Then you got some kind of other things which I've not really dived into too much, but you've got, like, you can create and download liveries for the cars. It's very much like Forza. I also quite like the fact that they have a little smiley face on the online server status. So what we'll do, we'll just jump into a single race. That's why you're here, to see what it's like to race. So I've unlocked. Now that's another reason I didn't actually want to make any videos, because you have to get to a certain level to actually unlock some of the circuits. So there's not a crazy amount of circuits, to be completely honest. Forza probably does beat it in that way, but the actual clarity of the circuits are very, very good. So I feel like I had bad experiences of Suzuka because of previous Formula 1 kind of racing games. But what we'll do, everything looks really nice in the evening. Should we go evening? Team, let's go evening. So I've mustered up a few cars because I'm brilliant. No, jokes. I'm clearly not got that many cars. So that's the car that cost me $1 million, is your Super Formula Honda 19. But the car I've probably racked up the most miles in is the 650S GTR4. So I think, yeah, should we do that? Yeah, we'll go into the McLaren. So what I'm going to do, to actually be able to hear myself. Obviously, we're going to go professional. I can't say I'm above average and then go average. So I'll chuck my headphones on so I can actually hear what is going on. Biggest problem with over the ear headphones is ruins my lovely hair. No. So here we go. Now I do think I'm focus peaking on this, but luckily I'm going to throw this through Final Cut anyway, and we'll be all right. So I do wonder if this is actually picking up the sound. I've got no idea. What I'll do, I'll also just record this for the fun of it. So here we go, start. Now, one of the things I did turn down is the quite hilarious music that comes along with the game. It's truly very Japanese. I also had no idea how to really turn down the traction control until a good 5-6 races in. But just kind of knock it to the left a couple of times and you can turn your traction control down. Okay, so first impressions of the game are... It's very, very simulated. It's not iRacing or like a PC kind of game simulator. Lando Norris probably isn't going to be putting too many hours into Gran Turismo. But I think if you have a PlayStation and you do enjoy racing games, it is a game I feel like we've maybe been missing for quite some time. Now, one thing that does irritate me is you get put to the back, and the difficulty with being put to the back is you do have just players who are just generally quite slow. And obviously clearly don't adhere to the Gran Turismo racing etiquette rules and kind of get in your way. But here we go. So something that is quite clever is on the kind of timing intervals on the left-hand side, it does actually tell you how close you are to the leader, which does give you a good indication during a race of like, right, how much do I need to put my foot down? So, as mentioned as well, this is on the PlayStation 4 Pro, which annoyingly I'm going to have to take back in today because it's making this weird noise from the power outlet, which is kind of really annoying. So this is as good as this game's going to look. So I've got this connected to the display. Now I do and should probably connect my steering wheel up, but for ease of making videos today, we're definitely just hooking it up to the controller. Ooh, we've got some good time here on the Bugatti. Ooh, we'll probably take it on the inside here. Oh, and the Lambo. Can we get enough braking? Yes. And got some. So we've caught up now. I do think this all depends on how good you are in terms of the world of racing simulators. But something I have noticed is I seem to be, and it's weird because you don't want to judge it against yourself, but you only have three levels, which is beginner, intermediate, and professional. But like in the lab, I've caught the leader by 6 seconds, 6 or 7 seconds, which is a challenge once you get up there. And like I've not won every race. I just feel as though is that too easy, or should they give you a few more kind of like Formula One? I think have done a really good job in terms of the leveling, because you go up to like 120, I think it is, or something like 110. So you can really find your niche in what you find a challenge and what's too difficult. Whereas in this, it is a little bit, you know, maybe a little bit too easy, or I've not displayed good etiquette there. I've just kind of completely bashed. And I've been checking out my screen instead of the display. What am I doing? Come on, Ben. So we've got a McLaren 650S versus the Audi TT RS, I'm going to guess. Got it onto the brake in here. Not the cleanest overtake, I have to admit there. Oh yeah, they're taking me back. Right, but I always find just straight line speed, I'm just quicker. So let's have a look at through the various cams. Now, one thing I do find weird, I'm trying to turn this left and right now, and you can't. You can literally look back. There are a few things where you're kind of like, I feel as though they're very much kind of in the happy place with the way that their game looks and what they've done before, and they'll always do it that way. Like, why can't I look around the car? I'd like to see the side of it. I don't know why, but it would look good. So you've got a few cams now. I have actually played recently, before purchasing Gran Turismo, the original Project Cars, just to see if it was as bad as I remember, or was it not too bad, and maybe did we all just give it a bit of a hard time? But one thing it did do, it gave you about 26 different camera options, which there was the one that was in the helmet, which gave you a really cool depth of field, and there was one that was in the centre of the car. So it did kind of break new ground. But I do feel as though someone's bought that development company recently. I can't remember. Oh, Codemasters have. So maybe we'll get a Gran Turismo Forza S game from Codemasters, maybe, and bring some of those things across. So if you mix Formula One and Project Cars together, and they have a weird little racing simulator baby, could that be a good game? So another thing to kind of bring up on a first impressions is the sound of the game, and I have to say, put a decent pair of headphones on, it does sound very, very good. Drive Club for me is still possibly the best overall sounding kind of racing game, and potentially even visuals for the time, but this is a nice clean 60 frames a second 4K, probably upscaled experience. It does look brilliant. I would like to see Forza 7 even on Xbox One X, but 2020 we're going to be getting all these new generation of consoles, so probably won't bother unless I get a PS5 and then they're dirt cheap. Could be an option. And here we go into the last chicane. We're first by just over a second. We caught them up crazy, and then they were only a second behind when we finished the race, apparently. So I hope you enjoyed kind of a first kind of race, a first impression. I don't want to kind of oversell this game. I've definitely enjoyed it, mainly from just a not casual, but it's quite easy. It's a download, so it's literally like, oh, do I fancy playing this? And I just put it on for a couple of hours. It's a good game. It really is. If for a racing sim, I think it's there aren't that many options. You've got maybe a Assetto Corsa, which is like £8, but I don't think that's brilliant from what I've seen online. You've then got Project Cars 2, which has probably been out about the same amount of time as Gran Turismo, but I feel as though Gran Turismo has probably had more development because it is a Sony title. So, and just looking at the replays, it's a good-looking game. The driving mechanics of it are better than what I thought they were going to be. I just had horrible visions that it was going to be like really, really sterile, like Gran Turismo 4. I just remember that being so difficult because it was literally like, as soon as you went out of line, you were kind of screwed. But I was like, I don't know, 13 at the time, so I might be completely off. This has definitely more of a feel of Forza. So if you're on PlayStation, you don't have an Xbox, you don't have Forza, but you're wanting to see what that's kind of like in a very much a very simulated kind of style, then give this a go. I think it's just the standard version is like £12. This is 15. Even if you don't like it, £15 is what, like 3 pints in the north, 2 in the south. So, and on that bombshell, I'm gonna make some more videos today. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to see if this actually recorded at all. We'll see what it was like. And we shall see you in another video. And hook us up. We'll see you soon, all in the Mancave.